What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Piece, your place to discover the untold stories right here in Indianapolis. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and I'm excited to be back in 2025, the year of community. We are coming up on the close of April, one of those weird months where we have 5 weeks instead of 4. But it's just allowed us to have a lot more incredible conversations, and I am really excited about my conversation this week. My guest today is an impact-minded, community-driven, independent illustrator, urban sketcher, art educator, and reluctant cat lover who puts on for Indy in some incredible ways, whether that's creating murals and artwork on some of our most notable landmarks, literally illustrating the kids' books on Indianapolis, supporting a local coffee shop, or just cheering on the Colts and Pacers. If you haven't seen him or his fam at a First Friday event, you probably have seen him randomly posted up somewhere in the city sketching the everyday and capturing the nap in all of her glory. I've been wanting to have this conversation for a minute now, so we're going to get into it. It is my great joy and privilege to welcome, my privilege to welcome Jingo M. Rosa to the show. Jingo.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Wow, what an intro. Can I use that on my website?
100%, up until I get to the privilege point. Then you can, but you can use everything else. Thank you so much for making time to be here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Patrick.
100%. We were talking before we got on mic about the first time we connected, which was at a Creative Mornings event.
Right.
Shout out to Ryan Hunley and Creative Mornings.
Shout out to Ryan and the crew.
Which I learned that you were very involved with for a long time, probably still are in some ways.
Yeah. I'm back on the team, but on a lower scale.
For sure. But at that time, you were recently a father.
That's right.
And I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and we're going to talk about from a creative standpoint. Yeah. But I wanted to start the conversation off from dad mode.
I love
you
it.
are a year in. How old is your daughter now?
She'll be 2 in June. So
2 in June.
She's what, 18, 19 months? I was just talking to you earlier how I'm so excited not to count in months anymore.
No
but
more months.
She'll be 2 in June.
For sure.
Yeah.
How has that been for you the last 2 years? What has this journey been like?
Oh man, it's been the ride of my life for sure. As you know, as a father yourself now, it's just a thrill to be a dad. I think it's the coolest thing ever. It's both the hardest thing I've ever done and still doing, obviously, but also the greatest thing that I've ever done. Just to see her grow up right before my eyes is just amazing. Like now she's in the stage where she does something new every single day. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know where you got that from, but that's so cool. So, I just try to cherish these moments and these days, for as long as I can. Cause I think one day, I'm probably not going to be as cool to her anymore.
Sure.
These days she wants to hang out with me, but one day, when she's a teenager, she probably wants to hang out with her crew and not me. So right. I just try to embrace these days when I get to hang out with her every single day. So, but yeah, to answer your question again, it's just been incredible. And I'm sure a lot of dads and parents out there feel the same way about their kids.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's been the first time that I've been aware of the passage of time, like literally. Yeah. I feel like conceptually I understood it,
totally.
But now I'm like seeing it.
100%.
And I'm luckily like leaning into rest and slowing down, but I am I think I'm running out of this thing that's called time. Another thing is like Van, my son, is saying no way a lot recently, and I don't know where he got that from.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, no way. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I say no sometimes. We're trying to get intentional no's out there, but where is this no way coming from? What kind of things or what's something that your daughter's done that you're just like, where did that come from?
Man, I've lost count. We keep a journal too of like things that she does that have surprised us and we just think are so cute.
Like the baby book, or is this like a non-traditional version of
it's
like,
a baby book.
Yeah.
We need the prompts.
For sure.
Yeah, because
we also need the prompts.
Yeah.
But I think we're like 18 months behind.
Oh, yeah. it's easy to forget too.
It is, for sure.
But yeah, we try to document as much as we can, not just through pictures, but through that journal too. Because it's easy to forget, and you can't rely on your memory as well. So especially these days where her development's so fast. But yeah, I don't even know where to start. Like as far as the things that she's been doing that surprises us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Van, she says things that come out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, she does say, I think she has said no way before too. But yeah, man, like I said, it's hard. There's too many things.
We can consult the baby book.
Yeah,
because
totally.
we have some things
I should have
down.
brought it today.
I didn't let you know that we were going to be leading into that. I've heard you say that like you have been a creative or drawer since you were knee high. I feel like at 2 years old, you're about knee high.
Yeah.
Have you seen your daughter like leaning into that creative side, like or tapping into her creativity?
Oh,
in different
totally.
ways?
Yeah. And it just so happens that I think that creativity is primal in people. Like nobody taught kids how to pick up a crayon and just start doodling or coloring. And that's what my daughter has been doing these days is she'll open up the cabinet and she'll just say color. And I know exactly what she wants to do. So yeah, we spend a lot of time coloring. And yeah, she loves doodling and coloring. I mean, it's a lot of just chicken scratches these days. Although, here's one surprising thing the other day, because she loves bananas. She drew a banana.
Okay.
It looked like a banana.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a curve like this, and it was yellow. So that was surprising, and I was very impressed.
Nice.
So yeah, she was able to draw her impression of a banana. But also one of the cool things is that she's been asking me to draw things for her too, which I think as a dad as an artist, like I've reached the peak right here when my own daughter is asking me to draw cookies and stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she also likes to dance and sing. So yeah, these days, like, and that's the beauty of being a kid too, is you have no inhibitions whatsoever, and somehow we lose that as we grow up.
100%.
So yeah, I'm just trying to embrace these days when I get to witness that myself before she develops her own insecurities in life.
For sure.
Yeah,
the world is terrible. I love that she's asking you to draw for her.
Yeah, I know. Me
think
too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't even know where it came from. I guess I just started drawing stuff for her, and she was like, "Oh, I guess I can ask him to draw this over and over again."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you take her with you to events, but have you taken her out on like sketching and stuff when you've been out? Has it been even weather like capable in the last 2 years for you to do that? It's either been too cold or too hot.
It has, yeah. The weather has been cooperative. That's one thing. And yeah, it does take me like a couple of hours to sketch something outside. So yeah, people have asked me that. Have you taken her? Like as much as I would like to.
Sure.
She's in the toddler stage right now, and she's peak toddler energy right now as well. So I don't think she can sit still for a couple of hours.
100%.
So I haven't, to answer your question, but one day I would like to. So maybe we could do it together.
But she can ask you to sit down and sit there for a few minutes for you to draw the cookie or whatever else.
Absolutely.
And that's like the first step to reaching those moments where you get to potentially spend that time together.
For sure.
You know?
And to share that thing with her.
Yeah.
You know, something that I love to do and something that I do for a living.
Yeah.
Something to share that. She probably won't remember it. She won't. But I will. I will remember that moment, those moments when she asked me to draw things.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be, again, one of the things I love to do. And I get to share that moment with her.
I love it. Yeah. Sorry to keep asking you about your kid.
Oh, no, please do. I could talk about her all day. Yeah.
So in Korean culture, so we just had Van's first birthday in February. In Korean culture, they celebrate what's called Doljanshi.
Yeah.
The first birthday.
I've been to one of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we as an adoptee, I have a strange relationship with Korean culture, but I tried to incorporate a little bit of a doll into his birthday. And as a sports person, I've been manifesting 6'4", 220, first round draft pick by the Pacers, so we don't have to move from Indy.
Let's go, Van.
After he goes to Purdue, wins the national championship there. No pressure. But he ended up picking the ball.
No way.
To do it. Yeah. So I don't look at the video. It might have been slightly biased the way I set it up. Anyways, he picked the ball. You talked about, so she just recently drew the banana.
Yeah.
But she's been coloring and drawing, it seems like, for a minute. Do you remember the first time she went and picked up the crayon and just started to do that?
Well, yes, because I brought it for her.
Okay, so I was like, that was really what I'm like. So were you subtly like, hey, drawing is cool?
Yeah, I
Art
mean,
is cool.
maybe part of me did. Yeah, because we want to influence our kids the best way we can. Because one day she'll have other influences outside of me.
Exactly.
So as much as possible, I want to influence her in a positive way.
Yeah.
And sure, coincidentally, I like art. I love art. I love making art, but also creativity is something that I want to foster in her, whether or not she wants to pursue that or not.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's always the fine line of like, am I pushing too heavily or like, am I trying to like, am I like dictating what it is that you want to do? And I'm like, I don't want to do that because I want you to be your own person. And I'm like, well, you got to play basketball.
Right.
Like, you got to play basketball. So it's just like, yeah. So I appreciate you sharing that. It's just like, I'm just trying to navigate it. So I'm always interested in how other folks are navigating it.
Yeah, for sure. It's not that I'm pushing it to her.
For sure.
Yeah, it's more like, I want you to be able to embrace creativity at an early age. Because maybe one day, like I said, we lose that sense of wonder.
For sure.
And we get a little bit more insecure.
Yeah.
So we lose that confidence in creating things. So I want her to embrace that as much as she can. Because maybe one day she'll probably pursue a different career.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't want to sing or dance or draw. But I would like her to have that capacity to create and have that confidence to do so.
100%. I love that. I think part of that is just like, I'm affirming you and your identity and who you are and whatever that might encompass and to do whatever it is that you love right now. And I'm like, even if I'm like, I don't know what that means, I'm going to keep supporting you and how you do it.
100%. Yeah.
I appreciate you talking about how like those influences can change and like really leaning into it at the moment. You're born in the Philippines.
Yep.
Right after the Marcos dictatorship ended.
That's right.
I heard that you talked about like your art and creative passion kind of like were really born in or out of that period or like around that time. As a knee-high kid, like learning to just start drawing and stuff, but also, I don't know, just in the few things that I read, it felt like that shaped a little bit of the creative fuel that you have and then and now.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you remembered like what your imagination at that time was fueling you to create. Maybe it wasn't specifically because of like socio-political stuff, but just like in your mind, what were you like driven to create at that moment?
I don't remember what inspired me, but I do remember what made me draw. It kind of had something to do with what's going on indirectly.
Sure.
Really. So, historically, the Philippines, very politically charged. Like you said, I was born during, the dictators, the Marcos dictatorship years. And right after he was out of office, there was a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There were remnants of that, like for instance, we had rolling blackouts.
Right.
Like every single day, like clockwork. And it would go on for hours. And we didn't have generators. We just had battery operated lamps or candles. So what's a kid to do on dark nights? So it's either we play outside, which I loved as well, or we spend those nights trying to figure out what to do inside the house. In my case, it was drawing.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to do. I can't watch TV. Or anything else that had to use electricity. So all I had to do was lay on the floor on my stomach, drawn pieces on random pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Right beside a dim lamp.
Yeah.
So in a way, it what was happening around my world impacted
for sure
my interests in drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we're kids, we don't realize how the world is impacting what we end up doing, or the decisions we might make, or the reasons why we're doing it in the first place.
Totally.
And I as I unpack my own story, I'm always interested in interrogating like why I wanted to create something at a certain period of time and trying to understand like societal context, but also like my individual internal turmoil.
Yeah.
Working on a presentation, I'm like, I was going through a midlife crisis about 18 years old. I'm like, that was an issue, but I did not know that at the time.
Yeah.
But out of kind of that context came like my passion or like the seed of passion for storytelling. I started to like write short stories and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
I was getting into comic books at that time, but like I was just like, I was injured from football and I just needed a way to express. And I did that and I was so scared because it went against everything that I thought I knew about being a quote unquote American person, like American kid in the Midwest. Like, you know, you play sports, you don't talk about your emotions. And this is, I guess, rural in the Midwest.
Yeah. It's a lot of layers there.
Yeah. So like, of course, like when you start to unpack it, you see like, well, of course you're having crises at this time, like, especially if you're not talking about those things. And I've come to understand like the multiplicity aspect of it. Like, okay, those things happening at the same time of like creation and quote unquote trauma, you know, they can breed something potentially beautiful.
Yeah. So you wrote short stories?
Yeah, I can't really tell you what they were about, but they were always dealing with some individual struggling with some abstract concept of something.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you
like,
still have them?
I do not. I actually printed them all off and I gave them to a friend's mom who was an English teacher to look over. She read them, made remarks, gave them back to me in a manila envelope, and I lost them.
Oh,
and this was in like 2009.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I feel really bad that I don't have those, and I feel bad that I had people look at them and, and mark up on them, and I lost them. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the reason I asked that was just like to think about, you know, I realized as a kid you don't know what's happening in the world.
Not really. No.
And you were driven to create something.
Yes.
Just out of necessity, but like also just like, this is, what do I want to do? Did you want to be doing that? Like, did you feel like you wanted to, or did you feel like because it was circumstance, this was one of the only options I had to do?
I mean, it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And it also goes back to how it's primal.
Sure.
Like, yeah. You just have that primal urge to make something. And also, I was bored. So I was like, okay, I guess this is the only thing I could do. And later on, you know, I figured, hey, I'm actually kind of good at this. Yeah. And I think it's that aha moment where I was like, oh, I think I'm kind of good at this. But also my family started to see it. Like my parents were like, oh, you're actually good at this. So it's not just my own aha moment. It's the encouragement that I got from the people who love me.
100%.
So, and I always tell people that's half the story. Like, it's not just my quote unquote talent or my interest. It has a lot to do with the people who push you and encourage you along the way.
Well, I was going to ask that next was because you talk about affirming your daughter and pursuing creativity right now as much as you can.
For sure.
I was going to ask if you received some of that same affirmation as you were tapping into your creativity.
100%.
When was that? What were those aha moments like? Were they separate? Did you have an individual one like, oh, I'm good at this? And then you had one where your parents were like, or your family was like, hey, you are really good at this? Or did they coalesce at the same time?
I think pretty much, I don't remember the exact moments, but probably the same time. Because I don't remember a time when I didn't draw when I was a kid, because I always did it. And my parents and my grandfather specifically, like my mom's dad, they all saw something. And my grandfather was an artist himself, but he was more of a performing artist. Like but he didn't do it as a career. He was just a good pianist and he played the accordion, like very, very good. Cool. Yeah, very, very good at it. So as someone who was as talented and as creative as him, he recognized that in me as well. So they all encouraged me to just do it. And the way they did it was, hey, can you draw me? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So it was pretty cool. So when my grandfather passed away, like in 2006, this is fast forward, like I dug into his stuff and he still kept those drawings that I did of him. And saw the progress as well.
Sure.
Yeah, which, it was really sad that he was gone, but at the same time, it was very it was very inspiring to see like how I progressed just because he asked me to draw him too. So I was like, oh wow, like if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have gotten better.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like, as I think as like a teenager, your family's asking you to do a bunch of stuff and you're like, ugh, like I don't want to do this. Like I just drew a picture of you. Like I want to draw another one. And like when hindsight being what it is, it's like you can come across things like that and be like, oh, like this is what affirmation can be. Even though it might not feel like that in the moment.
Totally. And I actually don't remember a time when I huffed and puffed. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Sure. Yeah, I'll do it because I happen to enjoy this too. So yeah, in a lot of ways, I was very thankful that they kind of forced me to do it. But also knowing that I would have said yes anyways.
Yeah. What kind of drawings were you doing at the time? Were they sketches or were they?
Yeah, they were all like pencil. I was like, I think that started around 5th or 6th grade. They were all just pencil.
Okay.
Just sketching portraits. Again, lots of portraits of I also did caricatures of him, and portraits of him and my grandmother. And my parents as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is it like to have kind of that repository? So we're talking about like, I don't have those stories anymore. And I feel like I've lost things over the years. So I don't have those. I used to rap. Slowly dropping breadcrumbs here on the show. And when I first started to do that, I started in college and I was just filling notebooks. And I probably had like 30 notebooks full of just rhymes.
Really?
And I don't have any of those anymore either. And when I was younger and growing up and I was like living in this state of rejected identity, I took a lot of things for granted, but I also didn't do things with intentionality, which was like hold on to stuff. I would hold on to things that maybe I didn't need. But things that would like, I would want now in this moment want to draw back on, but I can't just because they just physically don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad sometimes. But I love that you have these drawings still, or that you found them and you're able to kind of go back and draw on them, not just from a like, oh, look how far I've progressed, but like how new sources of inspiration. Do you ever go back to these and just revisit them, not even to necessarily create, but just to like as a way of memory creation, I suppose, or just like familial, whatever that might be.
No, totally, it's not just I don't even look at old work to see how far I've come.
Okay.
No,
sure.
I look at them to see who impacted me. And like what we were just talking about, like it was my grandfather and my parents. So it just reminds me of who helped me along the way. And it's just a good reminder that I need to do the same thing for not just my daughter, but for everybody else around me. So I used to teach on the college level. So being able to do that to younger artists as well. It's like passing on that legacy
for sure
of positive reinforcement and encouragement. Because again, that's half the story.
Yeah.
You can have all the talent in the world. You can, you can be, a really good artist, but without people who encourage you along the way, I don't think it's possible to be able to pursue anything.
For sure. We talk about this a lot on the show, and hold on, who did I wrote this down. Somebody wrote something about, okay, I'm not going to look and find it. But we talk about like nobody does things alone. Like nobody accomplishes or creates really at the end of the day alone. The episode that just came out before yours was Chantel Massey, poet here. Incredible conversation. But she talked about how you don't really write or read in isolation. You're reading in conversation with the author who wrote that story, with the characters that live in that story. And then when you're writing, you're in conversation with all of those folks that you have impacted you. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and it's not just the positive encouragement from the people you know. Like every artist is influenced by someone or something, whether or not you know them. So that alone tells you that you don't do it alone. You don't make up your own style. You don't make up your own. There's nothing original.
Yeah.
You were influenced by someone or something.
Yeah.
So.
On your website, you have a tagline that says that you're redefining the artist stereotype. I feel like we're digging into that a little bit, and
Okay, yeah.
there's this not like you don't create alone. Like
No.
you've been impacted by somebody
For sure.
I was wondering if you could dig into like what that is a little bit further. Is like how does it go deeper than that, or is it like art is a communal thing and that's the stereotype? It's not an isolated thing. What does that mean?
I mean, there are stereotypes for everyone
For
and
sure.
everything, and including artists.
Yeah.
So, well, I talk to a lot of people who are surprised that I'm an artist because they say I don't look like an artist, I don't act like an artist. And that's fine, I'll accept that. And yeah, and I think that's also a good thing because I want to redefine that, and one of the things that I've heard is artists are socially inept. And I happen to be the opposite. Like
100%.
I love talking to people. I get my energy from talking to people. I'm very extroverted.
Yeah.
So yeah, recently I actually talked to someone who told me that this other person doesn't like me because I'm friendly, quote unquote. And
What a terrible reason not to like somebody.
Yeah, because it was like, he's too friendly. He's too friendly to be an artist.
Ugh.
And I should be offended, but I was like, I actually wasn't, because I think it's okay for someone to dislike me because that's who I am.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah.
It's really a compliment to you.
Yeah.
If you don't like me because I'm a friendly person and as an artist I'm friendly, like I could probably live with that.
Yeah.
It's not an issue for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I kind of want to shatter that perception that artists are very isolated and that we hate people and all we do is make art and we're unprofessional.
Sure.
So
I like that. I think something I was thinking about as I was thinking about like what is the artist stereotype is like who is art for, like in the grand scheme. And I feel like there's been this gatekeeper mentality, specifically from like a white supremacist lens, but just like maybe not even from that, but from like an elitist thing. Like art can be seen as elite, I think, in some circles.
Yeah.
From some people, I feel like, but that's maybe sometimes part of a stereotype. And I think one of the reasons I love your work is because it's accessible.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah.
And it makes, like I said, you're capturing the city in its glory. I feel like the way the city is expressed through your art makes it accessible, so at least to me, from my perspective as a viewer.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, because that's really the intention behind that, is for it to be accessible.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I draw these scenes around Indianapolis, these are just everyday scenes.
Right.
And I'm just excited about them because these are things that remind me of Indianapolis. These remind me of my home. And I always tell my students, like, if you don't create art that excites you, then how are people going to be excited about it?
Sure.
So yeah, while these are just everyday, mundane scenes, they excite me.
Yeah.
So in the hopes that it will excite people too, regardless of how mundane and boring they may seem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love all the teaching work that you do. And I feel like we've talked before, I think this was probably before we got on mic, that you're one of the most prolific artists in the city. But you're like a very prolific teacher, I think. And you do a lot with the urban sketchers here, but you do it in Chicago as well, I saw. And you talked like, it's like you're passing it through. This is not just to your kid, it's to the next generations of people who might want to tap into this. Sure. I feel like, okay, where was I going to go with this? See, this is where I start editing, and this is where I'm needed to be a better editor in my own mind. And I'm editing right now in real time. That's why I'm still talking. Why was I asking that? Great silence. Great podcasting material. Okay, the reason I bring up teaching is because, and the reason I brought up the gatekeeping role is because, or just like that perspective for myself as what a quote unquote stereotype for art could be, is we had Nietzsche Stapanukul on the show. She does community. She did community engagement for the Indy Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
She now is in LA doing it for a symphony orchestra out there. Shout out to her. One of the things that we talked about in our conversation was again, who's the symphony for, and how do we reach communities that wouldn't you wouldn't necessarily see at the symphony and engaging with like that kind of orchestral style music.
Yeah.
Even though like everybody is involved in it in some way or another way, even if it's not like orchestra per se, but it's just like a brass or string or wood instrument. Like you're taking part in this art form. And I think that's where I was kind of going with when it comes to like art creation in that way. Like is how are you engaging with and bridging the gaps that maybe exist in communities that don't have access to art in the way that you might have or other people might have? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's kind of what the question is.
How do I bridge the gap?
How do you bridge? Man, I am struggling with this question. Sorry. How do you, man, I am so sorry that I'm struggling with this.
Don't apologize, please. No.
Okay, so I brought up the gatekeeping about art. I think art as opposed to like music or the orchestra specifically can be, you see art being represented in all kinds of communities.
For sure.
And there exist barriers to access to certain forms of art or maybe certain levels or styles or opportunities that art might present to itself for certain communities.
Yeah.
I think the work that you do as a teacher is to try and maybe bridge that gap or at least empower students or your students to embrace what they do to pursue those things and not feel like they're not able to do that. So I was wondering if you could just break down like how your work has influenced how you pass that through, like we've been talking about, passing through the opportunity or whatever that might be, the mindset to your students, and how you've seen that kind of reflected and impacted in the work that they go on to do.
Wow. Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
All right, 30 minutes later, we got to the question. Shout out to me.
You go, Patrick. So when I was in college, I didn't like how I was taught art. The way they did it back then was, okay, you're in this program. That means you're good.
Yeah.
And you're good enough. So just make something and I'll decide if it's good or not. That's the way they did things. Which looking back, I was like, man, that wasn't beneficial at all. So to me, in the classroom or wherever I do workshops, I try to get to know my students on an individual level because everyone has different skills and experiences. And I try is the operative word. I try to teach them in such a way where I can foster their strengths, but also try to veer them away from what I think will deter them from making good art.
Sure.
And that's always the challenge with teaching because not everyone's receptive as well. So that's why having a relationship with my students is important. Yeah. Because I need to have that trust with them. I need to establish that trust and relationship with them. So that's one thing. And the second thing is I need to continue to make art.
Sure.
Because if they see me doing it, I think that's a good way for them to get empowered as well. Like this guy who's teaching me is doing the thing. Yeah. And he's doing it well. Hopefully I'm doing it well. So yeah, so those two things I think go hand in hand when it comes to teaching, but also like, bridging the gap, as you say. Because some students who are in the art program probably won't even pursue art because there are a lot of barriers for sure. Like one thing is, you're debt. Like when you're out of college, like you're buried in student debt. Like how the heck are you going to get out of that? And with making art too. Yeah. Because it's not easy to start an art career like from scratch. For sure. Like I've experienced it myself. Like there were a lot of growing pains. So it's easy to get discouraged and say, oh, I'll just do a different 9 to 5 and not pursue it at all. So for me to show them like, hey, it's possible.
Yeah.
It will be hard. And it's supposed to be hard because those hard moments are what make you. Those are the moments that make you or break you. Because it took me 8 years like out of college before I even started a career in the arts. Like I don't wish that upon anybody.
Sure.
But I'm thankful to have those 8 years that really shaped me before I could even call myself a professional artist.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think people need to endure. People need to go through the hard stuff. People need to suffer a little bit. Honestly, yeah, because I look back and when I first moved here, it was not only did I have to when I moved to Indiana, not only did I have to navigate being an adopted Hoosier, an immigrant, and trying to get used to a new culture. I was also in my early 20s trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do with my life as a profession. So, and it was lonely too. Like I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a lot of people. Well, I didn't know anybody. That's the thing. So I had to immerse myself for sure. But now I'm ranting and rambling.
No, you're good.
So
you owed me one.
Now we're even.
Yeah, for sure. I had to leave that huge pause in just so we can make that make sense. I love it though, because I feel like that's another thing that shows through in your work is like you don't lean away from your identity, you lean into it. I think that's another thing that is important to model for your students. Yeah. Because again, that's the other part of the story is I think we want people to, that's part of embracing your full creative self, I think, is embracing that, whatever that identity you might hold. Mm-hmm. What you talk about like this, the hard times, like getting through the hard times.
For sure.
What was keeping you creating during the hard 8 years? Like, I'm sure there were moments where it was like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I've had moments in the last 4 years where I'm like, it would be way easier if I didn't care about any of this stuff. And I just went to a job and just did nothing, like, and just lived my life in kind of oblivion a little bit. But like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. You know, for sure. What kept you coming back to creating?
You know, the funny thing is those 8 years, like, I don't even remember creating anything. Yeah. Maybe I did little things here and there, but there was a point when I was like, I'd given up on the artist dream for sure. Okay. I was just doing dead-end jobs left and right. And I remember thinking, wow, I guess this is the American dream. You know, you just wake up, go to work, go to sleep, and then do it all over again. But yeah, somehow God had other plans for me. And I just, I just found a job randomly in Bloomington, of all places. Sorry, I know you're a Purdue fan.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I've matured.
And I found an illustrator job there, and that's what started it for me. And I even prepared like the worst portfolio that anyone's ever seen. And somehow I got the job at this publishing company in Bloomington. So I don't even know how I got the job, honestly. Like I said, I haven't created or made anything in a while, and I'd given up on any prospect of a professional art career. Yeah. But somehow, some way, I found this job, was there for 2 years, quit, and have been doing freelance art for over 10 years now. And I'm rambling again, but I do want to say that, even those desert years where I wasn't doing anything, somehow life found a way for me to be able to do something that I truly enjoy doing. Like, I don't like it every day, but I do love it. Yeah. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
100%.
Yeah.
I think like the things that we love the most, like we don't like every day probably because there's just the hard times that you have to go. Like, again, you have to go through the hard times.
For sure. And in my case, in a lot of artists' situations, it's when you both work as an artist and it's your passion and your hobby, like when those two intersect, it's hard to find, there's a fine line between those two.
100%.
Yeah.
How do you walk that line?
Oh, that's a tough one. Like I have to consciously structure a time to make personal work where,
Okay.
yeah, that's why I keep a sketchbook with me because I know I can't sell that thing.
Sure.
Yeah, because every time I make something, I always think, oh, how do I sell this?
Sure.
Yeah, but
Mike knows what it is.
Yeah. It's real though. But money's not everything. I know that's a cliche thing. Like money is not everything. And I tell myself this every day. I don't want to be rich. I'm an artist. Like that's not my goal. My goal is to make art and not to ultimately it's to make art and not make money. Other artists might feel differently.
Sure.
But when I pursue money, everything just falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have to consciously create time for me to make personal work and not, outside of my hours of making art as a job.
Yeah. Well, and you're also like a dad now. Like you got to spend time with your family and you're out in the community. Like you talked about when you first here, like you had no one at the time and it was lonely. And now it's like that goes against your natural state of extroversion.
Absolutely.
And so like you've made community and home here now.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
You've been here for,
I've been
18 years?
I've been in the U.S. for over 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indiana,
mostly in Indiana. That's the funny thing. You know, I've made every reason to leave Indiana and yet I keep coming back.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Do you know why that is? What's keeping you coming back here?
It's the people.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it's the Pacers.
I was like, it's the people.
I'm not gonna lie. Literally,
it's the basketball people.
Yeah, it's the basketball people for sure. I mean, people. What about the people?
We just have the best people here. I truly believe that, and that's coming from someone who was born in a country with the friendliest people, the Philippines. You know, that's like the trademark of the Philippines.
Yeah.
You know, it's the land of smiles. So yeah, coming here, I've just truly met the best people, and I've been able to be a part of a good community here.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I went to my annual physical. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. And my annual physical, and my doctor, who I love, shout out to Dr. Padilla. He asked, "So how's life? How's everything? You know, how do you feel like your health is going?" And the last thing he asked was, do you feel a sense of belonging? And I was like, oh, that's an interesting question coming from a doctor.
Right.
And I was like, actually, I'm pretty good. You know, I feel like I belong. I feel like I'm loved and all that. And I asked him, why did you ask that question? Because I've never heard a doctor ask that before. He said, like, you know, typically doctors ask about nutrition, sleep, and physical activity. Like those things, you know, while we have to be conscious about those, if one of those things go on the wayside, like your body knows how to adapt.
Yeah.
But when you're lonely and you don't have a sense of belonging, your body doesn't know how to react to that. It's just going to go haywire.
Yeah.
So that's why he asks his patients that. I say that because I felt that sense of belonging here in Indianapolis. And say what you will about people from Indiana. Like, I've truly loved being an adopted Hoosier. And I don't see myself living anywhere else. Like, my wife and I always talk about it. Like, she grew up here. And this is home. Like, this is where we'll be. Unless there's, like, an out-of-this-world opportunity somewhere else, which I still don't imagine what that would be. Like, this is where we'll be until we die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how you define Indianapolis, but I think you just did it with home.
I mean, it is home.
Yeah.
And I would define it as a world-class city because it has world-class people. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Jake Butler for calling it a world-class city with world-class people and world-class businesses.
Yeah.
He shouted out a bunch of them, yours included. Yours included.
Oh, did people say that already?
That's the first time anyone has it. He said it. He said
Oh, wow.
world class. Yeah. So I like that you're saying it here. Like, let's establish data on how we define Indianapolis.
For sure. I mean, yeah, we do have, people will say, we do have it. We do have world-class food, coffee, art, but I think it starts with the people.
Yeah.
Because people make those things and people are the ones who make it happen.
100%.
Yeah.
Speaking of people,
yeah.
we have a recurring segment on the show called Give Them Their Flowers, where we ask our guests to shout out a person or persons that they feel like deserve their flowers right now. I know as a viewer of the show, you probably have some people loaded up, but we have a special guest in the house with us today.
That's right.
Madeline McKinnon of Frida's Flowers,
Shout
who
out,
has
Madeline.
this beautiful piece here. I was wondering, because I didn't know she was going to be here, if you could give some flowers to Madeline if you feel like she deserves them.
100%. No, I want to give a shout out to Madeline because Madeline, you've like I've known you for years, and I've loved seeing you put yourself out there and just being generous as well, right from the get-go. Like I wasn't like you when I was in my early 20s, and I wish that I was as generous and as loving and as community oriented as you when I was younger, because sky's the limit for you, my friend.
I wish I could pick the camera up and turn it, but I would not put it back in the right spot, so I can't.
She's over there, I promise.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Anybody else that they need their flowers at the moment?
There's so many people. I mean, I have to give a shout out to my wife, Erin. Like, she holds the fort down. She works, a very hectic job, but still finds time to be a good wife and a good mother. I couldn't ask for a better partner in life, for sure. Shout out to my dad and my brothers. We lost our mom a few months ago.
Damn.
And as sad and as hard as it's been, like, I feel like our family has prioritized togetherness more than ever. So shout out to them, because we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, despite the highs and lows of life.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to fam.
That's right.
I love to see that coming together out of grief.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think it's still even a form of grieving, is to build a stronger bond with the people that we're here with in our family, and to find time to do it collectively.
Totally.
I think we do a lot of grieving in isolation.
Yeah, which isn't,
it's
that's not the
always
way,
healthy,
man.
for sure.
No, it's a communal thing.
It is a communal thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how we grieve together so we can grow together.
100%, my friend.
You mentioned world-class coffee. I know you love, you're a coffee drinker. I have a very specific question for you.
Oh.
Which indie coffee shop
Oh, no. Don't make me choose.
is most representative of who your daughter is right now?
Oh, wow. I didn't see it go that way.
Yeah.
Wow. Which indie coffee shop?
Yeah.
Wow. A representative of my daughters. Let's see. Wow. Now I'm editing myself.
Well, they all got their little like
Yeah, there's
things
yeah,
about 'em.
right. Because I keep defaulting to my favorites. I mean, they're all great, but because my daughter's outgoing and playful, and I mean, I just have to go to one of my faves, to Calvin Fletcher's.
Okay.
Yeah, they are playful and outgoing. With as far as like their staff and the owner Jeff. Shout out to you guys. And yeah, they've been playful with their seasonal stuff too. Which I've been going there for years now, almost 10 years, and to see their product evolve. See them play a bit. Get playful a little bit more each year. That's been fun to see. So.
Yeah. I just started going there recently a little bit more. I love working out of there because the energy and the vibe is just different than other spots. Like, I like working out at Parlor and stuff, Provider, which have like their own energy sometimes. But
for sure.
I think Calvin Fletcher's it's got a unique.
Yeah,
place.
I feel like Calvin Fletcher's, I think, to me, defines Indianapolis too. Because you see all sorts of people there from all walks of life. And again, as cheesy and as cliche as it sounds like, it defines Hoosier hospitality, because I've seen them do it. They've been so hospitable, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. Like they've fully that's been displayed in that place.
Yeah,
that's why I keep coming back.
I love it. We talked about drawing inspiration from like things from of the past.
Yeah.
And like that continues to fuel us now. But is there anything specific that's inspiring you right now that you're drawing inspiration from?
Oof, that I'm drawing inspiration from.
Maybe not. We're in a pretty terrible situation in the world, so there might be nothing that's inspiring, and I think that's okay too.
Well, really, what's inspiring me is my mom. Like I said, she passed away a few months ago. The ironic thing, like her loss, like her presence is felt more than ever despite the loss. Yeah. So which is also sad. Like I wish I felt her presence a little bit more when she was here. But yeah, I think that's I'm kind of shifting that way, where I think about my mom a lot and I want to honor her through my art. Yeah. Too, because again, not only my mom, like we talked about earlier, like she was one of the proponents of like and advocates for me. For sure. So yeah, like I'm gonna have a show at the Harrison Center later this year, and it's gonna be about her. So yeah, because I think about her every single day. Yeah. And I will till the day I die, probably. For sure. So yeah, she has been inspiring me lately, and I wish she did when she was around. For sure. Yeah. Well, shout out to your mom. I'm sorry for your loss, and I really appreciate you sharing this with us. Shout out to you, Mom. Yeah. Love you wherever you are. Shout her out. I know where you are. Yeah. I appreciate you coming and sitting down and having this conversation. Yeah, man. There's a lot more that I would love to talk about, and we talked about some other stuff, so I did not get to it, and I also took 58 minutes to figure out how to ask you a question. So that happens sometimes when you're a podcaster, but luckily we have an editing machine, a.k.a. my brain. We can have an offline conversation anytime. 100% we will at Calvin Fletcher's, baby. Hey. Before we let you go, though, I just got 2 more questions. Yeah. And then I'll let you get out of here. You're already teaching people. You're already, passing through that knowledge and letting them know, like, what you can do, what is available to you, and also what things you can exceed beyond, hopefully. Yeah. What is something that you would share right now to somebody who is struggling to feel that belonging that you have found? Particularly in the art scene here, but maybe just in general. Somebody who's just struggling right now in Indy to find that, as somebody who has found it and recently acknowledged that, oh, hey, I think I have that. What would you share with them? I would just say, just put yourself out there. I know that's a scary thing, but all good things take courage. So just put yourself out there. And I found that out pretty quickly when I did it here. Because for a while I wasn't doing it. And then finally I was like, I'm just going to show up to random things. Sure. And things that didn't even have anything to do with art, really. I was like, I'm just going to see what's out there and meet people. So I would say just show up. Yeah. I think that's what I would tell them. Just show up, because you'll never know who you'll meet. And it's not like the networking aspect of it, which I think is kind of gross. You just never know if you'll meet like someone who will impact you in a different way. 100%. And who will possibly shape what your future will look like too. Not just from a professional standpoint, but more importantly on a personal level. Yeah. Like you might meet, the person who will, I don't know, I'm not saying like your future spouse or whatever. This might be the friend that you're looking for. Right. That might convince you to stay here, because I think people ask the wrong question. Like they ask themselves, what is it? There's nothing to do here in Indianapolis. What do I do in Indianapolis? That's not the right question. The right question is, where do I meet people and who do I meet? Because that's what's going to make you stay, is who you meet. I had a follow-up, but that's too fire, so I'm not even going to ask it. I do have to ask this last question that we ask everybody, but those were bars. Clip it out. I'm clipping it out. That was for me. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you shared, of course. And especially for that last bit right there. Yeah. For everybody watching, following along at home right now, if they want to find you, follow you, support you, whatever it is that you would like them to do, how do they do that? I'm just on Instagram. That's all it is. It's Jingo ILLO. So it's Jingo. It's like bingo boy with a J. ILLO. Jingo Illo. I don't post that much because it's just too much work, but I do stories every now and then. But yeah, I would love to connect. Shoot me a DM if you ever want to chat. Yeah, I love meeting people. So
there you go.
Yeah.
He's an extrovert and he's building that community.
That's right.
Jingo, thank you so much. I appreciate
thank you,
being
Patrick.
here.
Thanks for having me. This
Absolutely.
was a pleasure.
100%. For everybody else out there, new episodes drop every Tuesday on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Go to conversationpiecePod.com for the archives, for merch, and for the open door. If you're interested in participating, click on the open door and you can do that. We have cool stuff coming up, so make sure you just check that out. My brain is broken today, but it's fine because we're wrapping it up. So without further ado, for the team, that's John Overton and Popular Rapture on the mics, Mike Lee and Mike Lee Productions on the cameras. Shout out to Pattern and the Stutz for letting us use this space. Shout out to Madeline McKinnon and Frida's Flowers for the flowers, and for being an incredible sit-in audience. Shout out to Jingo M. De La Rosa for making the time, for being an incredible guest.
Shout out to you, man, for just having conversations with people, because that's what we need. We just need to keep talking to people.
I'm going to keep talking to people.
That's
you heard
right.
it. Shout out to me, Patrick
right.
Armstrong, the host. And this has been Conversation Piece. We'll see y'all soon.